The MiG-9s will be the first jets you will be unlocking in the Russian tech tree. However, I recommend you to skip the first one because it's the exact same plane with worse engines and it's a bit lighter, but not to an extent where it matters. These planes rely solely on their engines. This thing has the exact same BR and has better energy, so what else do I need to say? Skip that one, keep grinding with what you have in tier 4 and use it. As expected of a plane that's literally a flying engine, the top speed is very good, it handily manages 950 on the deck. The maneuverability however is very poor, and the retention of this plane in the turn is also very poor, so be prepared to dump all your speed in the turn. The firepower is pretty good, you have 137 and 223s, plenty of rounds. The problem however is the aiming and the hitting your target, but when you do hit, people really combust. That's why I put it a bit in the middle, because it's not easy to use. The climb rate as well is very good. You outclimb pretty much every 7.3 in the game, most 7.7s even. 8.0s gets another story. For the stock grind, as we do with most jets, we go for the compressor first because it enhances the engine quite a bit. Then we go for the airframe. First time we go for the airframe first. The 23s aren't very important. The 37 is however. So after the airframe we go for the 37. Then we get the engine. Then we get the 37 gun upgrade. Then you go for the wing repair. Then you go for the cover. And then you can go back for the 23s. And then the fuselage repair. It's a very solid plane. Definitely the best 7.3 out there. So I would give this thing an 8 out of 10. It's still a bit hard to use. And it's not very forgiving. That's why it skims out on the last 2 points. As well as the guns being not that user friendly. For the talisman I'd say definitely get this thing if you are looking to grind all the jets. I grinded the MiG-15, the MiG-15 BIS and the MiG-17 in about 1.5 days with this thing. Because you get about 20k a match, which is quite a lot. First game of the day. The thing you really want to do in this plane is get some altitude. It is fast, yes, but it loses a lot of energy in turns. So I'd rather have some altitude with some speed. This plane is exceptionally suited for altitude. It's literally a small MiG-15 BIS. It has good acceleration, doesn't have the best top speed acceleration, but it has decent top speed. It maneuvers not too well however. MiG-15 feels a bit like an upgrade. But in jets you shouldn't rely on your turn rate to begin with. And it teaches you a bit of the 37. However, the 37 is positioned a bit differently, so you have to get used to that again, but at least you can get used to the lead. First the slower targets, which makes it a lot easier. Four people behind me and there's one on whoop-de-doo, so what I don't want to happen is that we get a 2v5 over there. I'd rather have him do his 1v1, I have a 1v4 over here. But I have the energy to keep him busy, which is exactly what I will do. I will keep these busy, I will cut them off, try and make them follow me so they don't go to my squad mate. So he has more room to 1v1 the F2H. F15 is coming in to help. I'm using the clouds as cover, so now I can dive in between all three of them as they go for my squad mate regardless. And I hope they don't see me. Venom, it's something. Vampire is something that I don't really like to shoot. They're very nimble. I'm not very good at these guns. Fortunately for me, he rolls right in my guns, so I just neck G a little bit and pop him. F2H is way too slow to catch me, so I just extend towards the Meteor, hoping he doesn't see me. Meteor does, however. It puts in a turn. I was expecting him to go head on, but he didn't. I didn't lead enough yet again. And I extend away. I'm a lot faster than him, however, if I had gone straight there and didn't bank a bit more, he probably could have sprayed me down at about 850, 800 meters, which isn't the hardest shot in the world, and this plane, however, even though it takes damage quite well, it doesn't like damage to the engines, because they are quite fragile. They're a bit like the 262A1 engines in that regard. If you get hit, you need to RTB. This plane is a flying engine. Everything else is worthless, pretty much. So you want to keep them running. It's not like a Meteor where you can just turn fight with a yellow engine and win anyway. You need your energy in this plane. I got some altitude, they dove away for a little bit. Trying to get a meteor in the head-on. Get a spark. Make him pull up a little bit more. Bait him directly for the MiG-9 and he's dead. F2H doesn't see me. Tail control gone, he's dead. And there's the vampire again. Something you really don't want to get on your 6 while you're slow. Fortunately, I'm very fast at the moment. At least for a 7.0 jet. He's not catching me. He's cutting me off and I'm still outrunning him. It's a good indication of me having sufficient energy for a little while. I'm pushing for the sea venom because he's on whoopty. And you can't really reverse that thing in the MiG-9 late. So I try to cut him off. Maybe get an easy shot. But no, he banks away and he goes running. So he's not really a threat at the moment. But I still really want him dead. They're kind of the planes that are really good if they have energy, they side climb a little bit and they catch you when you're not paying attention. Because the last thing I want is a vampire or a venom or any of those planes that are annoying to fight in this thing. Because you're not the most maneuverable, your guns aren't very, how you say it, they don't have a lot of volume, which make it hard to lay down a blanket and kill them in a turn, and you don't turn very well. And with all these things combined, it might be very hard to kill someone that's paying attention, that has energy. Sure, if you start someone out, they're not dodging you anymore. Over here I thought there was a fighter, so I went for him. Get a hit, only a 23 and it's a B-57, so I'm not really surprised. Realizing it's a bomber, it's not really worth my time, so I just go back to the base. There's a lot of people there. AA will probably kill them anyway. This is from before the pilot damage got removed. So I don't really see those planes as a threat anymore. They just killed 2 bombers, not a big deal. They are above the airfield. So that's not my priority. They probably won't get away from it alive anyways. So what I do instead is I go for the sea venom. That's trying to intercept the people at the base. Because there's a lot of people there. You see a lot of red. For me it's blue of course. And he tries to run there. Then he sees me and he banks off. If he had gone straight there, I probably would have been able to cut him off and be right on the 6. And I'd be around closing distance. I would catch him by the time he'd reach the base, so it wouldn't be the best idea for him to go straight there. And as a smart man he is, he broke off. Engines are starting to overheat a bit now, which might be problematic because I am actually quite scared of the sea venom in this plane. He's a lot more maneuverable, he's faster. His acceleration I'm not too sure on, but that turn rate really is really painful. And that's the last enemy above the airfield that got gunned down by AA. If I had gone there, by the time I would have been there, they would have all been dead and I just wasted my time, and this venom potentially had climbed, got some altitude, and then I have an energy disadvantage versus a plane that can really fuck me up if it's faster. In the end it all worked out. I'm glad I did it. Something it's easy to say in retrospect. Of course. Get hit with a 23. Unfortunate, should have aimed it better. I don't know where the 37 went, probably the rate of fire that got to me. Extending away, I can't really use my web right now, but I don't really need to because he did a way wider turn than I did. He turns quite well, so he burned a lot of speed. This isn't a Horton. F2H crashes without giving me the credit, also very nice. Now I turn back for him, as I noticed that the venom gave up on me and turned, so he lost even more speed. That's something I want to do. I want to drain him of his speed, something I can keep up. But he's a lot faster than I am. If he played it smart, he probably could have run away, get out like with a 4-degree climb and re-engage me. However, that takes a lot of patience, and I'm not too sure if he's actually spaded or not because I'm catching him here. I haven't flown the sea venom however, so I'm not 100% sure on how good it is versus me. But I do, it is a plane for me that I really take into consideration of being a threat. Because it's fast, it turns really well. I pretty much treat it as a slower Venom, which it pretty much is. Yeah, he's starting these really wide scissors that I can't follow. So I try to get one more shot in and I turn the other way. The way that makes him bleed the most amount of speed, and for me it's just a 90-degree turn, so it doesn't really matter. But he seems to be really going back to base, which probably means he's either out of ammo or out of fuel, because again I don't know how much fuel this thing brings when it takes minimum. But I don't have a lot myself. I have 10 minutes myself. And I kill him. That's game. On to the next one. A bit less spectacular. And again we got some altitude, as you should always do. 2 people low, F-84G again, probably. F9F behind me, something I don't like the look of. I hope it's not an F9, F8. Pop him real quick and I extend away. Whoopty is on the F9F. Looks to be a 2v1, so I'm extending away because I don't want to go up and get beamed by the vampire right behind me. Vampire isn't very fast, but he's fast enough to catch me if I go straight vertical. Because his guns don't need to reach the same amount of energy as his plane does. He can just hang there and just spray me down, which is something I'm not going to risk. Trying to bait the F9F in a head-on so that my squad mate gets an easy shot on his 6. Unfortunately that didn't work out. Didn't lead enough there. The Venom pushes me off. See the LF-15 coming in. And I just run away. I have a feeling that they can easily win this, and there's 2 F-84s in the middle of the map, and I figured I'll just go clean those up. There they are, you can see the dots already. I go a bit to the side so they turn even more, because their energy retention is pretty poor in the maneuvering. So is mine, but I can build up some more speed here by diving, and they have to climb. Made a very critical mistake here, however. I try to go head on with 2 people that are spaced out in a way that I get the second one on me if I go for the head on, which is exactly what happened here. Probably would have been better if I started climbing away. For now it worked out fine, but in the end this is gonna prove a big problem. Keep looking around because I don't want to get cut off. F-84B is a very easy shot here. The F-84G is flying away for now. He's giving me a lot of room. Unfortunately I just didn't lead enough and the F-84G comes back, so I can't stick on him. I tried to turn back but it wouldn't let me because this F-84G would be sticking right on my 6. I can barely dodge him. I can barely outturn the F-84G. All I have is energy. And here you see what happens when you get 2v1 when they don't both stick on you. I expected them to turn fight me both at the same time, but the B kept breaking off. Or the G. They kept switching up. And when people do that, it doesn't matter that their plane is inferior to mine. Missed the second very easy shot. This is one of the earlier games I did and I just missed everything. And is what got me killed. Right here I could have gone up to stall him out, but I was too late. Because the second one that was there, I couldn't go up. And now I get both of them on me. And at this point it's pretty much game over. I'm trying to do a little bit of a spiral here. Flaps everything, roll around his rudder, trying everything in my power to get around him. And F-84G would have overshot me, but the F-84B stalls a lot later, has a lot more controllability at low speeds, and he crits me. And at this point it's I'm done. All I can do right now is waste as much of their time before my team comes in, so they don't have time to regain their energy, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just gonna roll a bit around, and if possible This is very scummy, I know, but if I do get the opportunity to roll into someone as he's trying to overshoot, I will definitely do it. I was dead anyway, so I just slapped myself into his plane. So apologies for this being a replay. My shadow play stopped recording and I thought that this game showcased the plane quite well, so I used it anyways. First thing is I got some altitude, as you should do in this plane, and then I go for the boom and zoom. F-84B on the left and a G over here, which provides himself to be an opportunistic target, so I go for him. However, he's faster than I anticipated him to be, and he compresses a lot less than I do, especially in the roll, as you can see here. So what I could do is throttle drop and sit on his ass, but there's a lot of people behind him chasing us, so I break off to the side. He is rolling the other way off, so I have the most amount of separation and I go up. This thing has very good acceleration, the web does overheat the engines quite fast, but it's nothing to scoff at. F-80C coming straight up for me. I go up straight last minute just so that he has more of an incentive to chase me up. And now I can just level out. He won't catch me ever. And my teammate comes in and just deletes him. He shouldn't have done that, but easy bait, easy game. F-84G again. F-84Gs are one of your most dangerous opponents in your own BR bracket. I want these things to die. Unfortunately I aim a bit low, so again I turn away from him. I could have gone up and energy trapped him, but doing that would make me an easy target for the second F-84 you can see coming in over there. So I didn't do it and I extend away. F9F, if he dives on me I'm probably toast. Luckily he doesn't. He goes for my squad mate. And now we get a bit of a dilemma. The best enemy plane is giving me a very good shot here, so I can go for my squad mate. And the other F-84 is extending away to the other side. And if I go help Whoopty right here, what will most likely happen is that the F-84 will come back and that I get sandwiched between him and one of the other enemies, which is something I don't want to happen. Luckily he turns around very quickly, otherwise I would have turned around because I can't waste my time while my squad mate is in danger. He doesn't take the head on, so I'm guessing he's low on ammo or something along those lines. And I turn my web back on and I rush back to Whoop-de-doo. Normally I would have gotten some altitude here because I'm only going 650 and this plane really relies on its altitude, but I have to get there very quickly. This one provides me a very easy shot. I just spam the 23s at him because I don't need the 37 to kill a very slow F-84. That's why you saw me spray so much. I'm only using the 23s. So if I do need him for these two, then I'd rather have him. He got his engine shot out. Couldn't pull up in time. I get a hit on the F-84. Barely did any damage. F9F pulls right in front of me. I just go up. There's zero chance he's following this. He just did 3 or 4 turns after doing a turn fight with my squad mate. He's very slow. I have some altitude, I have superior acceleration and I maneuver better. He's not getting away. Again, just spraying the 23s because there's still 3 people alive at this point. Now I use a 37 and he instantly gets vaporized. Now there's 3 bombers left and I'm not gonna bother you with that gameplay because there was a lot of running, a lot of boring stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Next one will be the 262A1 and should be done by Saturday, so I hope you'll be there and I'll see you in the next one.